In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. In the next scene, we are faced again with the blue child, or Enfant Bleu, who is described as the keeper of the flame on the animation developer's website. In this scene, we see the blue child dancing next to the fire, and each time he turns, his mask changes as well. The masks he wears in this scene include Native American, shaman, and finally a beak-like plague mask. We also see an image resembling a shining star on the middle of the blue child's chest. At times, there are also some faded waves beneath his feet as he dances. In the last moments of his dance, the beak-like mask comes off and we see his real face, which is painted. Suddenly, a light shines through the dome-like ceiling of the room in which he's dancing. His face becomes jubilant, and he stops his dancing as the scene ends. This scene is quite complicated and requires comprehensive explanations in numerous layers which we shall tackle. In the first layer of this scene's analysis, we should first analyze the expression blue child or Enfant Bleu. Who is this blue child? As we research and examine the French expression Enfant Bleu, we come across a novel written in French. The accurate reading of this novel provides us with very important information regarding the symbology concerning the blue child or Enfant Bleu in the animation I, Petco 2. For this reason, we should first shortly review the book Enfant Bleu in this layer of the animation's analysis. Enfant Bleu is a novel that narrates the story of the members of a tribe in the Ice Age. The story's hero is Amma, a young girl belonging to the tribe. This tribe is living under some harsh conditions, and despite many hardships and the members' insistence on migration to other lands, the leader of the tribe, who is the wisest of them all, opposes immigration. The tribe seeks refuge from the snow and cold of the Ice Age in a cave and makes a large fire in order to protect itself from wild creatures. To preserve the fire, one of the members stands guard over it every night. One night, it is Amma's turn. Amma, who is a young and childless girl, sees a shining blue light in the sky within hours between midnight and dawn. While shining dazzlingly, the light moves with a high speed towards the ground from within the clouds. The lightning-like blue light brightens the whole valley and just as quickly returns back to the sky after reaching the ground. Amma, who was watching these scenes, falls into the state between wakefulness and sleep and neglects the tribe's fire. She jumps up from hearing the angry voices of the tribe members who have been woken up after the fire went out. The tribe members scare Amma away as they throw snowballs and stones at her with furious faces. In this instance, a frightened Amma moves towards the place where the blue light shone on the ground at night. There she sees a hairless child with blue skin and round pink eyes sitting in the center of a circle of melted snow with hands and feet that have 2 fingers and toes instead of 5. The child is shivering from the cold. Amma, who has no children, runs towards the child and wraps him around the worn skin she's wearing as her clothes and relocates him. In this moment, tribe members, and in particular the tribe's leader, Arik, reach Amma in a state of anger and fury to complain about the extinguished fire. Then the blue child, who spoke in a strange language, suddenly lights a fire with his eyes. The tribe members and its leader become happy and say that this child can perform miracles and is blessed. For this reason, they let the young girl Amma and the blue child back into the tribe with open arms. They ask the child who his parents are and where he came from. Using gestures and unintelligible noises, the child lets them know that he lived in the stars and landed from the sky on earth. He also tells them that his parents are in the sky as well, and that he misses them. After this event, the blue child also becomes a tribe member and teaches them many practical things. For instance, he teaches them the properties of herbs, such as chamomile, and how to use them. The spring that year is also pleasantly warm, and the year is a prosperous and fruitful one for the tribe. Due to the blue child's color, he becomes known as Rourke, which means blue. They are so happy about him and recognize him as a blessed being. However, the blue child always misses his parents and gazes at the sky. One night, the blue child returns to where he had first landed and sits in the snow. In the same night, one of the tribe members who is guarding the fire mistakes him for an animal and hits him with a spear. The tribe members find the weak blue child as he has lost a lot of blood. Amma and others' efforts for healing him are futile. The tribe's chief, who is the wisest of them all, tells them to make a small shed for the blue child and leave him where he had landed on the earth, so that his parents may return him to the sky. They do so, and Amma, who misses and worries for him, watches the blue child from afar. However, she gradually falls asleep. At dawn, she wakes up but cannot find the blue child. Amma runs towards the tribe's chief and lets him know that the blue child is no more. The tribe's chief tells Amma that the blue child has returned to the sky as he instructs the tribe to prepare for migration. He then points towards the sky, and Amma sees a shining blue star in the sky. The tribe's chief says that, with the blue child's guidance, who has now become a star in the sky, they shall find their way south towards warmer and more manifold lands filled with plants and animals that the tribe requires. At the end of the story, Amma asks the tribe's chief to change her name to Blue Star as well, since she took care of the blue child as a mother, and it is her right to change her name to Blue Star in memory of the blue child. After deliberation regarding what has been mentioned in the book Novembre Bleu, we understand the blue child character is the devil, or Lucifer himself. Various factors help confirm this theory. The footprints of this blue skin color can be observed in many pictures of evil goddesses and demons left by ancient infidel nations and Satanists. Kali and Shiva's skin color, the infidel deities of ancient India, Jinn's blue skin color in Aladdin, and so on, are all related to their jinn descent. Furthermore, having 2 fingers instead of 5, which is completely like animal hoofs, has been used in description of demons and jinns as well. On the other hand, it has been said about the blue child that he was the fallen star that had landed on the earth between midnight and the morning. These descriptions completely match the descriptions of the devil or Lucifer in Prophet Isaiah's chapter in the Bible. In chapter 14 of the book of Isaiah, verses 12 to 15, it is written that, "How are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are you cut down to the ground? Who did weaken the nations? For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I'll sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the farthest side of the north. I'll ascend above the heights of the clouds. I'll be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the side of the pit. Thus, the expressions son of the morning and fallen star that have been used for the devil or Lucifer completely match the attributes of the blue child in the Nofemblu book as well as the character in the animation. Particularly, on the blue child's chest in the animation I, Pet Goat 2, there's a brightly shining star. On the other hand, the blue child's special abilities, especially the ability to light a fire, again refers to his connection with the devil. Hence, in the first layer analysis of this scene of the animation, we find that Nofemblu is in fact personifying the devil or Lucifer himself. In the second layer analysis, considering what was mentioned regarding the barren mother and a blue child as well as the images within the book Nofemblu, we find a strange resemblance between the picture in which Amma, the young girl from the tribe, is hugging the blue child and the images of a woman and evil child demonstrated in the movie The Passion of the Christ. This resemblance is not accidental, and both these evil mother and blue child characters refer to one aspect of the devil's contrasting attributes, especially considering that the blue child in the Passion of the Christ is indeed an adult evil man with a small body size wearing primal human clothes. In the story Nofemblu, the blue child's abilities and characteristics are like those of adult men. Hence, both these stories are referring to the same issue, and that is the bigender aspect of Satan, meaning he's both male and female at the same time. Of course, his male side is depicted as the blue child. The important point is that in the official trailer for Avatar 2 movie, which is supposed to be released in 2021, we repeatedly see images of a blue child that is the result of the marriage between Avatar's main characters, Jake Sully and Neytiri. Hence, repeatedly indicating the blue child, especially when he's non-human, is a malicious reference to the devil or Lucifer himself, using a symbol called the blue child, which has been mentioned in the animation I, Pet Goat 2, the movie The Passion of the Christ, and other written or illustrated works. In the third layer of the analysis of this scene, and according to what has been written in the book Nofemblu, we realize that there's a link made between the blue child and a shining blue star in the sky. Furthermore, in the book Nofemblu, it is mentioned that the bright blue star is in fact the blue child who has returned to the sky and is helping Amma's tribe in finding their way south. While examining the science of astronomy, we can find out that the bright blue star in question is in fact Rigel, which is a star in the Orion or the Hunter constellation. This star is used in the northern hemisphere of Earth as a mean for navigating one's way south. The other important notion that creates a connection between the blue child and the Rigel star is a cartoon character called Rigel in other animations, in which he is depicted as a teenage boy with long ears, two horns, blue clothes, and with the symbol of a star or all-seeing eye on his forehead. Every one of these facts correspond with all of our analysis regarding the Blue Child. It's very fascinating that within the Native American tribes of Lakota in North America, there is a legend regarding the Rigel star and the lower half of the Orion or the Hunter constellation, which corresponds with some of the contents in the book Nofemblu and confirms our previously mentioned analyses as well. This legend of the Lakota Native Americans says that due to this vanity and self-righteousness, and following the instructions of the gods, the members of the Thunder tribe cut the hand of Lakota tribe's chieftain. The Lakota tribe's chief's daughter announced that she would marry whoever brought her father's hand to her. The fallen star, who was a young, powerful half-blood warrior, with a father from the stars and a mother of human race, returned the tribe's chief's hand and married his daughter. Lakota Native Americans see this legend as the coordination and rapprochement between men and the gods with the aid of the young generation. They note this event as a blessed one and recall it by resembling the constellation of the hand within the sky. The important notion is that Lakota's constellation of the hand is not a real constellation. It is the lower part of the Orion or the Hunter constellation in which Rigel resides as well. However, it is called the constellation of the hand. Hence, the fallen star in Lakota's hand legend, the Rigel cartoon character, the Blue Child in the book Nofemblu, and the Blue Child in the animation I Pet Go 2 are all indicating the devil himself. In the fourth layer analysis of this scene of the I Pet Go 2 animation, we realize that both the animation and the book have emphasized on the chamomile flower, in a way that, in the scene related to the Chinese girl Sun Tzu, and skullduggery in this animation as well as a part of the Nofemblu book where gathering herbs for the ill members of the tribe is mentioned, chamomile has been indicated as well. This link is not coincidental, because although chamomile has medical properties in Egypt's myths and also Masonic symbology, chamomile is the symbol of Ra, the sun god of ancient Egypt, who is well respected within the infidel people of the ancient Egypt as well as members of Freemasonry and Illuminati. Hence, there's even a conspiracy behind the use of chamomile in these Masonic works, and a cryptic message has been sent to the specific audience of this animation. In the fifth layer analysis of this scene of the animation, we further examine a sentence within the book Nofemblu. Suddenly, she saw a light from within the clouds, a large, luminous blue light, which was coming down towards the earth. The light slowly went down, while it was still luminous and dark blue. Doesn't this part of the book remind you of something? Yes, the expression reminds us of the lightning that is bright and comes down from the clouds. A lightning in blue, which can be called blue lightning. Isn't this name familiar? That's correct. It's familiar. Because the most important terrorist operation of the world in 2020, which was conducted by the United States of America's terrorist armed forces, was named the Blue Lightning, in which the great general of Islamic Iran, Martyr General Qasem Soleimani, and his companions, including Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, were martyred. In truth, the military code name Blue Lightning completely matches the content mentioned in the book Nofemblu regarding the Blue Child or the Devil's Descent. This fact confirms that, in the same way, the descent of the fallen star or the Blue Child, or in a better interpretation, descent of the devil from the sky to earth, saved the tribesmen from the Ice Age and its dark, cold atmosphere. Freemasonry and Illuminati, who are the followers of the devil, presented the martyrdom of the great, brave general of Islam as a sacrifice to Satan, with the code name Blue Lightning, which is in fact equal to the devil's descent, so that in their own minds they can end the Masonic Ice Age. It is noteworthy that the terror operation leading to General Soleimani's martyrdom near Baghdad airport was also carried out in latitude 33 degrees in the hours between midnight and dawn. The same time was mentioned about the occurrence of the Blue Lightning or the Devil's Descent in the book Nofemblu, which shows that Freemasonry and Illuminati considered their terrorist drone strike as a kind of Devil's Descent and have thusly presented it to Lucifer, their great Masonic teacher. In addition, the corrupt and mischievous American singer Marilyn Manson appeared in a music video titled King Kill 33 in an environment that was frequently decorated with a symbol of lightning, in the military uniform of the generals and under the blue light. He recited evil poems in the form of music, in which the only color mentioned was blue, which was mentioned in the previous sections of this analysis. Hence, it seems that what is written in the book Nofemblu, the symbols used in the animation iPad Go 2, the music track King Kill 33, and the code name used for the terrorist operation that led to the martyrdom of General Soleimani were all issued from within Freemasons' thinking room using the code word Blue Lightning. In the sixth layer analysis of this scene of the animation, we should mention the Ice Age. As it was indicated in the book Nofemblu, the story involves a tribe in the Ice Age who are saved from its hardships by the help and guidance of the Blue Child or the Fallen Star, who is the Satan himself. The atmosphere in the iPad Go 2 animation in the apocalypse is also depicted like the Ice Age, which illustrates its many challenges and hardships. However, in the deviated Masonic and Illuminati beliefs, the end of the Ice Age is concurrent with the Devil's descent from sky and beginning of his representative or the Antichrist's rule in Jerusalem. In the seventh layer analysis of this scene, we should refer to the expression Keeper of the Flame, which is used on the animation maker's website to describe the character Blue Child. In addition to the apparent meaning of this expression, which is depicted as a child dancing around a fire to keep it alive while wearing a mask, in the story of Nofemblu as well, the Blue Child or the Devil rekindles the extinguished fire of the tribe in the Ice Age. This means that the task of lighting the evil Masonic flame is on the Devil himself, and the task of its protection falls on the shoulders of the followers of Freemasonry and Illuminati until the day that the Antichrist's rule is established in Jerusalem. It is essential to note that the Masonic Holy Fire is a famous expression, and there is a book titled The Initiates of the Flame, written by a Masonic author in which he cryptically points to this notion. In the eighth layer of the analysis of this scene, as we more accurately examine the expression Keeper of the Flame, we realize that there is a music video with the same title published by the composer and singer Martin Page in 1995.
I'll be the trail that keeps on running, up around the bend. I'll be the heart that keeps on rocking. This ride will never end. Oh, when the sun goes down, I will be around. 'Cause I'm gonna be the keeper of the flame. You won't forget my name as long as our love is in the rain. See, I'm gonna
Martin Page has seemingly stated some expressions of love within the lyrics of the related song. However, in an important part of this music video, there is a child who's dancing and is wearing various masks. The masks switch as he's dancing. Martin repeatedly sings the expression, "Keeper of the Flame," concurrent with the moment of the dance when the masks are switching. This dance and the switching of the masks on the child's face within the Keeper of the Flame music video is completely similar to the dance and mask switching scene in the scene of the animation I, Pet Go 2, involving the blue child or Nofemblu. The similarities between these scenes confirms the analysis that according to the Freemasons and Illuminati's views, children and youngsters are the protectors of the Masonic holy fire until the time of Antichrist's coronation in Jerusalem, as well as the following periods. The complementary point regarding Martin Page himself is that he had mentioned that prior to the production of the In the House of Light and Stone album, which includes the track Keep of the Flame, he had wandered with the Native American tribes of North America for a while and had learned various things from the tribe shamans. This journey had been an inspiration in the making of the Keeper of the Flame music video. This fact is in line with our previously mentioned analyses, because the blue child character in the animation I, Pet Go 2 also wears different masks, one of which is the mask of Native American tribe shamans. Thus, it would seem that the director has used Martin Page's Keeper of the Flame music video in various aspects of this scene as inspiration. Of course, the numerous Masonic and Kabbalistic symbols in Martin Page's Keeper of the Flame music video are far more than mentioned. For example, even the design of the music video scene is closely related to the Kabbalistic elements. In the design of this scene, a two-story apartment of 4 units is depicted, where the color of the wallpaper and the lighting of the units are parallel to the color symbols of the 4 Kabbalistic worlds, namely Atzilath, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiya, in a way that the place where the masked child is dancing is illuminated in red, which is equivalent to the Kabbalistic world of Atzilath, and the element of fire, and in the first floor, where Martin Page's has been illuminated by the color blue, symbolizing the Kabbalistic world of Bria and the element of water. On the opposite side, it can be seen that on the upper floor, where the drummer is, has been illuminated in yellow, which symbolizes the Kabbalistic world of Yetzirah and the element of air or wind, and the lower floor, where a young girl is present, has been illuminated in pale green, which is equivalent to the Kabbalistic world of Asiya and the element of soil or earth. All in all, the decoding of Martin Page's Keeper of the Flame music video requires detailed investigation, which is beyond the scope of this discussion. Accordingly, it can also be seen that the clever reference by the director of the animation I, Pet Go 2 to Martin Page's Keeper of the Flame music video was made in order to provide some cryptic messages for Masonic audiences in the form of this music video, parts of which were discussed. It is noteworthy that Miranda Lambert, who is an American singer, also performed a song called The Keeper of the Flame in 2016, which has a connection with what has been discussed before. Hence, we shall not explain it further. In the 9th layer of the analysis, we take a closer look at the expression Keepers of the Flame. We realize that there's a pagan Masonic group with the same name that has its specific followers in countries around the world. The Keepers of the Flame Masonic group, who uses a Maltese cross and purple background color within its elements, is a group that relates its establishment to Comte Saint-Germain. He was an infidel, a heathen, and a high-rank member of secret circles who died in 1784. However, his followers believe that he's not dead and is instead traveling through time. Numerous people, from the leaders of the Keepers of the Flame Masonic group, as well as other hidden groups, claim that they have met with this infidel man in different time spans. The members of the Keepers of the Flame group, whose purple symbol color is similar to the symbolic color of the Regulus star or Alpha Leonis, regard themselves as the heirs to Freemasons and believe that the modern Masonic age belongs to them. One of the leaders of this cult has stated the following regarding this group. Today, the Keepers of the Flame occupy the same position in the coming revolution in higher consciousness that the Masons occupied 2 centuries ago. Stating such expression by the leaders of the Keepers of the Flame fraternity not only indicates their important role in the political and social changes in recent centuries as well as the times ahead, but also demonstrate this group's respect to Freemasonry and Illuminati. The members of this group know themselves as the heirs to Freemasons in changing the thoughts of people in current and future eras. Hence, attribution of the expression Keepers of the Flame to the Blue Child in this scene of the I Pit Go 2 animation is secretly and cryptically indicating that the child and teenage generations have been trained in Masonic and Illuminati media to practically become the protectors and keepers of the flames of the evil Illuminati fire within the current and future centuries and eras. In the 10th layer analysis of this scene of the animation, we should indicate that flames have been demonstrated in various parts of it. We had seen these flames in Bin Laden's beard, the Antichrist's body and legs, and in his beard as well. It would seem that the origin of all these flames is the same, and they are all the evil fire, which is supposed to be protected for the future by the Freemasonry and Illuminati, trained child and teenage generations, so that in the age of the Antichrist's global government in Jerusalem, it can last forever. Such wish shall, God willing, never come true. In the 11th layer of the analysis of this scene, we should pay special attention to the strange shoes worn by the Blue Child character in the animation I Pet Goat 2. As you can see, the shoes are made of raccoon skin, which were quite common among Native Americans and hunters in North America. In this scene of the animation, the raccoon skin shoes are not only indirectly pointing towards the North American natives' legends about the fallen star and blue spirits, which are similar to the Nofemblu story, but also cryptically conveying messages regarding the symbology of the raccoon. In raccoon symbology, it is mentioned that raccoons are the symbols of changing faces, shape-shifting, secrecy, wearing masks, courage, curiosity, and audacity. All the descriptions mentioned in the raccoon symbology are in line with the Blue Child character as well, because he is constantly changing location, face, and masks. Furthermore, since he's a child, he can be considered curious, courageous, and fearless. Hence, the raccoon shoes are also in line with other elements within this scene of the animation, such as wearing different masks and face changing. In the 12th layer of the analysis of this scene of the animation, we deal with the masks worn by the Blue Child. The first mask we see in this scene is a mask of tribe shamans on the Blue Child's face. Shamans were people who practiced witchcraft and treated illnesses within many tribes around the world. For instance, the shamans in Mongol tribes and Middle Asia, African tribes, and Native Americans had a significant position within their tribes. Considering the many scriptures within books and articles, many of the religious or healing rituals of the shamans were done using the blue spirits or jinns. In the next parts of the scene, we see the shaman mask is replaced by a bear-like mask on the blue child's face. We should note about the bear-like mask that is quite popular among natives of North America, and in particular Lakota, in which bear masks and bear symbology is very common. In addition, Lakota Native Americans conducted a healing ritual using bear masks, which they called the bear medicine. The last mask appearing on the blue child's face is a beak-like mask which resembles a crow. This mask has 2 points of significance. One is that the beak-like mask is also known as the plague mask, which was used by the medieval European physicians. Hence, the plague mask must have played an important role in fighting the disease in the eyes of the people at the time. On the other hand, as we had mentioned before, crow is in the sense of people on their Masonic journey and moving towards the Illuminati light. This subject was further discussed in previous scenes of the animation, the Frozen music video by Madonna, and the painting 3 Women and 3 Owls by Juanita Guccione. At the end of this scene, the beak-like plague mask also comes off, and the blue child's face and the light of Illuminati shines upon him, which is connected with the flight of crows towards the Illuminati light. In the 13th layer analysis of this scene, we should point out that among the masks worn by the tribe witches and pagan infidel cults, the masks indicated in this scene are mostly the ones that are known as healing masks or anti-disease masks in various tribes and nations. For instance, the bear mask was used in a healing ritual called bear medicine among the Lakota Native Americans in North America. The beak-like mask or the plague mask is also famous and was used by medieval physicians at the time of the plague or contagious diseases in order to avoid plague infection. The role of wearing these healing masks by the blue child is to cryptically indicate the spread of a global disease all over the world in which all people will have to deal with a pandemic. Only children are almost immune to this disease and world not perish. Because, according to this scene of the animation, the blue child is the symbol of the young generation favored by the Freemasonry and Illuminati as the keepers of the flame. Freemasons intend to preserve their evil holy fire in their temples until the era of the Antichrist coronation, using the young generation. Hence, they should be immune to this plague-like disease at the end of all time. In other words, the young generation is trainable like the blank tablet or sheet of paper and needs to be preserved so that in the modern Masonic age they can be trained by the evil teachings of Freemasonry and Illuminati to execute the devil and his representatives like the Antichrist's order. Thus, the Illuminati has planned for a contagious and fatal disease which spares the children from severe morbidity and mortality and mostly kill adult, middle-aged, and elderly people who cannot be trained for Illuminati purposes. Therefore, in this scene of the animation as well, wearing the healing mask by the blue child is in the sense of the children's survival and preservation in the face of the fatal, contagious, and infectious disease, which Freemasons intend to spread as an act of bioterrorism in different societies within months before the execution of the deal of the century and coronation of the Antichrist in Jerusalem. It's very strange that after revealing the deal of the century, regarding Palestine and Jerusalem, the infectious coronavirus or COVID-19 disease began to spread in all countries of the world and in particular in Iran. One of the strange properties of this disease is that the fatality statistics of children under 9 has almost been zero for weeks. It means that COVID-19 is in principle a disease that mostly infects adults, and its fatality and severe morbidity are extremely low to children. On the other hand, with further deliberation over the Kabbalah tree, we realize that the highest rank among the Sephirot belongs to the crown, which is called Kether in Hebrew and Corona in Latin. In addition to this fact, we observe that the closest trump tarot card to the crown or Corona Sephirot is the Fool card, which is the symbol of Donald Trump. Hence, the proximity of the crown or Corona to the Fool, who is seemingly a foolish politician, is linked with the spread of the disease caused by Corona. Furthermore, as we observed, Donald Trump's term is related with Psalm 23 of David, and the key expression, the valley of the shadow of death. The COVID-19 disease is in fact part of the valley of the shadow of death, which has been prepared for the people of the world by the global Freemasonry. The significant point is that, in this scene of the animation, the last mask worn by the blue child is the plague mask, after which the Illuminati light shines on his face and he gladly stops his dance. These images infer that according to Freemasonry and Illuminati's plans, the global infectious pandemic has been probably planned for the last months before the coronation of the Antichrist and leads to the damage to the health, economy, and politics of all countries all over the world. This can be categorized as the final blow of the global Freemasonry and execution of the Ordo ab Chao slogan, which means order from chaos. Due to this plan, considering the despair, anxiety, and sadness of the people from all over the world caused by recent tragic events, the Antichrist is supposed to appear and play the role of the false savior in place of the real Christ, and end the people's suffering as the fake Christ. The people should then fall in love with him and follow him as their savior. In the 14th layer of the analysis, we should point out that at the time the masks on the blue child's face change, a few sea waves appear underneath his feet quite unexpectedly and then disappear. The presence of these seemingly meaningless waves has suspicious codes and mysteries embedded within. These waves become important since they did not exist in the previous scenes related to the blue child. However, they appear under the blue child's feet in the current scene when he's wearing protective medical masks such as the bear mask and the beak-like plague mask. After a more thorough investigation, we can realize that the famous brewery company called Corona has been present in global surfing tournaments since 1980 and also became their official sponsor since 2015. Furthermore, many of the elements related to waves and surfing, such as the Ocean Preservation Campaign, which has been advertised as the plastic wave, have been being executed with the support of the Corona company. Hence, it would seem that the appearance of roaring waves beneath the feet of the blue child as he's dancing is cryptically sending this message to the Masonic audience of the animation, that the disease is supposed to create a worldwide pandemic, would be the result of coronavirus family. Of course, these images do not mean that Corona Brewery Company is responsible for this worldwide pandemic. However, the waves alongside the name of this company, which is a sponsor of the surfing tournaments, are coded in a way that can convey such secret messages to the Illuminati audience. In the 15th layer of the analysis, we should remind you that the Blue Child character was depicted wearing the mask of tragedy and despair in previous scenes. For instance, the scene in which the Twin Towers collapsed in September 11, 2001. The Blue Child, who was dancing, stopped his dance despairingly and threw himself off the edge of the cliff into the sea. Furthermore, in another scene, he's drawn back towards the fire from the edge in an unaware state as he's wearing the same tragedy mask. In contrast, in the next scenes, he's seen with various masks, including the Mask of Kali, the Indian deity, then the Shaman mask, the Bear mask, and finally the beak-like plague mask as he's dancing around the Masonic fire with great energy, and is seen jubilant and happy in the last moment when the Illuminati light shines upon his face. This sequence of states regarding the Blue Child character indicates that, despite the fact that the followers and devotees of Freemasonry and Illuminati seem to be in a difficult and despairing state at the advent of the third millennia, with the efforts of the Freemasonry and Illuminati followers in preserving the evil Masonic holy fire by the coronation of the Antichrist and the shining of the Illuminati light, the concerns of the Freemasonry followers and trained youngsters of this cult shall change to hope and euphoria, and the modern Masonic age will usher the era of relief for the Freemasonry devotees. Of course, as we had mentioned, such claims and fantasies that Freemasons and the Illuminati have dreamed for the time of the apocalypse shall, God willing, never come to pass.